Yes, indeed. There's been an update to the hair, and it's time for another update on a brand new game. Mr. Grant Hines is here, and we love spin-off shows from like Game of Thrones to Better Call Saul. Absolutely brilliant. So it stands to reason that if gamers are introduced to a story and world that they love, that they should be able to further explore it, and the special characters in a separate solo journey really sink their teeth into it. Enter the spin-off to Borderlands titled Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Look.
I
Linda,
really like what they're doing here. So Borderlands is, for those of you who don't know, it's a role-playing first-person shooter. It's team-based, and you get like a whole bunch of weapons that you can upgrade, and they're all randomly generated. And the style is very cartoony. It's not called cel-shaded. That's actually technically the incorrect term for this. But it looks very cartoony.
Man, yeah.
But it's like a sci-fi game. So what they did was they have a lot of attitude and personality with the writers. So they did a spin-off called Tiny Tina's Wonderland, which is like as if the characters in that universe were playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, wow.
Right? So they're playing Dungeons and Dragons, and you get this really crazy story. But here's how cool it is. All the voiceover artists are like famous comedians. So Andy Samberg is in here, Wanda Sykes is in here. So you get these brilliant writers.
But it's like Red Dwarf meets Warcraft meets...
Yeah, it's just
Cyberpunk meets He-Man. What's going on?
And they just smashed them all together to make this really fun, irreverent, like no rules game that which, you know, usually games fit like a particular genre. They'll go like, this is a fantasy game. It shouldn't have guns in it. And they were like, hey, well, I don't know, this is gonna be fun like this.
Yeah.
Let's just do it. So
it's even rocking out on like a troubadour.
But the highlight is obviously the writing. You were gonna ask a question.
It looks visually absolutely stunning, and it's ironic because Tiny Tina is just dishing out a massive amount of carnage. So what is the purpose? How do you navigate this game?
Okay, so
and what's the drill here?
How the game works is that you squad up with your team of like 4 players, and each of you that are playing together online has a character. Obviously, you're playing one of the comedian's characters, and you follow the story and rank up your weapons and get stronger and stronger until you can beat stronger bosses.
Do you start with the dragon? Do you have the dragon?
You don't start with the dragon, no. The whole idea is that you rank up together and you follow through the story as a group.
Very much like a D&D type vibe.
Exactly. So Dungeons and Dragons is like the whole motif behind it. But like kind of like tongue-in-cheek comedy around it.
That being said, it's a bit of a departure from Borderlands, very much inspired by that. Is this going to scratch that itch for a Borderlands fan?
It definitely does. It's actually more Borderlands than you'd think. So I think some people might be disappointed. They might be looking for something that's a little bit different, but it is more Borderlands than you'd expect it to be. And for those of you who are wondering at home, it's not only cooperative 4 players. You can play on your own and go through the story by yourself, which is, I know, very important to a lot of people that are watching. People usually switch off when I say you can play with your friends like this, but to me, that is a big part of it, but you can play on your own. The attitude, the personality, the last time I saw this was Jack Black made a game called Brutal Legend. And that personality and attitude...
It's got some chutzpah.
Exactly. It lasted the test of time, and now they're doing something really fun and crazy and quirky, and I really like that they're doing this. More games need to do brave things like this.
Oh, completely. So is it just for Borderlands fans, or is this going to introduce a new market?
It's going to introduce a new market. If you don't like Borderlands because you don't like the environments or the motif, this might be something that pulls you over. If you don't like it because you don't like the grind of getting new weapons and going through, you're not going to like it. It's essentially the same type of game under the hood.
Okay.
But if you want to see something that's a little bit different, a little bit more interesting, a little bit more exciting, then this is a game that you need to check out.
I love it. Tiny Tina is my new spirit animal. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. If you're a Borderland fan or not, this is going to, I think, hit all the right notes.